Hello, Cancer Rising. It's Mandy Ray of Ecstatic Astrology here for your December 2024 Rising 2023. I'm already there. Rising sign forecast. Sorry, it's taking me a minute. Whole family's been sickly. It's hard to record when you're feeling like that. So here I am though, and we are talking about the new moon in Sag to start off. Okay, we're already at the 15th when I'm recording this, but this new moon in Sag kind of the themes last for a minute. Okay, so the new moon was in your sixth house of daily life, work, service, habits, health, and healing. Here's where I get to give personal um, reports, I guess. I'm a Cancer rising. Okay, so this new moon was in my sixth house of health. Ha, how funny. It's square Neptune in the ninth house of higher learning beliefs, new horizons, travel, truth, storytelling. That's really what I do with my job. And the new moon was in my sixth house of health and listen to me, right? So the square is tension. There's tension between what you know and what you do every day, your health, your healing, your habits, your work, and the ninth house adventure and higher learning, and there's just lack of clarity there. Like, how do I get this done, basically, is this feeling. Now the reason I'm saying this new moon kind of lasts for a bit is the sun doesn't square Neptune from these areas until Saturday. That's tomorrow. And then even further, whenever Mercury retrogrades back into Sagittarius, it's going to square Neptune with Mars. So there's still, this is still coming up, okay, all month. And so I wanted to give that just the emphasis that it deserves. Higher learning beliefs, your truth about yourself and who you are, and your intuition and how you go about life is maybe bringing a little lack of clarity, and then to your daily life. Okay, and you're wanting to get all this stuff done, you have these big goals, maybe that's what's going on. Now let me bring up the fact that Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Jupiter's in your 11th house of goals. So that's why that keeps coming up. Long-term aspirations, your networks, okay? And Venus, which rules Taurus, is in Scorpio. That's creativity, romance, children, courage. It's your purpose. So there is this, what do I need to create and how do I share it with the world? How do I get it done? Feeling as this new moon comes into even more power, especially when the moon moves into Pisces, which will be, I want to say Monday, the 18th. So in fact, let's talk about Mercury retrograde because it's going to bring up some of these similar themes. Okay. So Mercury retrograde starts in Capricorn. Capricorn is your seventh house of relationships. Okay. So let me go up here. Let's work out Mercury retrograde, rethinking how I do relationship, the boundaries around it. There is a really nice trine to Jupiter and Taurus, your 11th house of networking and friend groups. That trine comes the 18th. So there may be some good news there. There may be some rethinking there. The trines are supportive though. So rethinking your goals based on relationships or your relationships with your networking and how you get yourself out there. Okay. I know I'm having my own. Then Mercury will square Neptune again. So there's this aha moment the 18th, and it's really beneficial. And then Mercury squares Neptune on the, I want to say here, it's this week. It's the week of Christmas that it squares Neptune, okay? Especially the 27th and 28th, because Mercury and Mars will come together in Sagittarius, which is your sixth house of work, service, health, and habits. All right. And this could be a little bit haywire. And it squares Neptune and your ninth house of travel, truth, new horizons, higher learning beliefs. I'm supposed to actually be traveling around that time. So I'm hoping to keep myself healthy, get all my work done before. I mean, that's kind of the need to here, okay, is to get your stuff um in a row, get your ducks in a row. Why is that? Because when Mercury goes direct on January 1st, it's going to go back into Capricorn and it's going to trine Jupiter, just like it did here on the 18th. Okay. It's going to trine Jupiter again, but both will be direct on January 19th. And that will be the final moment when we get started. Okay. It's from your sixth house of work, service. I'm sorry. No, it's from your seventh house of cooperation, relationships, and agreement, trine Jupiter in your 11th house of long-term goals, aspirations, and networks. So if something's not working out this month, give it a little bit, because in January, especially the 19th, when Mercury's direct, Jupiter's direct, we're going to get a little bit of a boost from that. Okay. All right. So the only other thing I want to go over is the full moon in Cancer. This is especially important for Cancerians. Full moon in your first house of self, identity, instincts, independence. Okay. And it's trine Saturn in Pisces, your ninth house of higher learning beliefs, storytelling, your truth, what you believe about who you are. All right. It's also sextile, which is opportunity. Jupiter and Taurus, your 11th house of friends, networks, long-term goals, and aspirations. All of these places are really working well together, as well as your 7th house of relationships, cooperation, and agreements. I mean, the sun is there and it's also trine to Jupiter. So we've got this really nice full moon with some really beneficial things. The only non-beneficial thing around the full moon is Mercury and Mars in your 6th house of health square Neptune and Pisces. So while this is a really good transit, I would still allow yourself a little room to be gaining clarity on all of these situations. The good thing is Venus brings a little love to this area of 6th house whenever it moves into Sagittarius on the 29th. It moves into your 6th house of health. So if there were any health issues going on, hopefully Venus will help you out there. It does square Saturn and Pisces right at the beginning, but that's okay. It will just be one day, and I think that's actually more in January, like January 1st when Venus squares. Let's see. When does Venus square Saturn? Let's get that exact. Oh, it is on exactly January 1st that Venus squares Saturn. So be aware of that because that will still be building. That being said, the only other thing that happens is we have Jupiter direct, and that's going on the 30th. And once Jupiter goes direct, your 11th house goals become supercharged. Okay. So get ready for that. Use the Mercury retrograde to get your ducks in a row. Remember, make your list, do your work, get your health in order as it moves back into your 6th house. Make sure you're communicating clearly with your friends and your networks. Like I posted an update on my Instagram, my YouTube yesterday. I'm a Cancer rising. I was like, hey, I'm not able to do this right now. Please bear with me. It's important. Either way, I will see you on the flip side for the January update. And I am going to give a deep dive January 20 full on 2024 workshop. I'm still finalizing all that Mercury retrograde, sickness, all that stuff coming up, but I'm gonna get that out there shortly. So be watching for that. I love these workshops where I get to talk to people and actually discuss it. So keep a lookout. I will see you in January.